The Colorado Avalanche have a major problem as their season is now on the line in this first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Dallas Stars. And if head coach Jared Bednar and the Colorado Avalanche are not able to tweak these problems and issues that they're experiencing in this first round against Dallas right now, it is almost a for sure thing that we see them as a first round exit in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs, and they lose yet another chance to take a stab at bringing the Stanley Cup back to Colorado with the depth in their roster that they currently have right now. And if they're unable to do so, it has huge implications for the front office, the coaching staff, the players, as well as Avs faithful, the fan base that is loyal to the Colorado Avalanche in the Denver area and outside of there as well. We're going to break down everything that is going on within the Colorado Avalanche team right now in the playoffs, right here on Avalanche Digest. Before we do so, I want to remind you to make sure that you are subscribed to Avalanche Digest here on YouTube. This is your best possible place for daily and consistent and accurate Colorado Avalanche news and updates. We give you all the latest that's going on in the world of Colorado Avalanche hockey right here on Avalanche Digest. We are at 87 subscribers on the channel. We're a fairly new channel, just a little bit over a month old. Now is the perfect time to subscribe to Avs Digest. Be one of the early subscribers before this channel takes off, which we definitely know that it's going to very soon. Help us out. Exit out of this video if you're not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Get us to 100. We're 13 away from 100 subscribers. And make sure that you are dialed in and ready to go. This is the best possible place for daily and accurate Colorado Avalanche news right here on Avalanche Digest. Let's dive into everything that is going wrong and going on in the Colorado Avalanche playoff team and playoff roster right now through this matchup with the Dallas Stars. So look at this crazy statistic from this series. It is baffling to me that this is even true, and I cannot believe that I'm even reading it. But it is unfortunately accurate, and it is one of the biggest reasons why the Avs need to figure it out and turn the tide of the series. The Dallas Stars have led the Avalanche for 70 seconds of play during this series. Think about that. That is 3 games of hockey, 2 games that went to overtime. That is minimum over 2 hours of hockey being played throughout these first 3 games of the playoffs, and the Dallas Stars have had the lead for just over a minute. The Colorado Avalanche have led for over 90 minutes of play, but Dallas leads the series 2-1. What in the world is going on? Why aren't the Colorado Avalanche able to finish these games where they're breaking out with the lead? The Avs have scored first in all 3 of these games so far. The first game, Arturi Lehkonen opened up the scoring for Colorado. The third game at home in Denver, Valeri Nichushkin put 3 people literally on their butts with a beautiful highlight reel goal to get the home Ball Arena crowd buzzing, with Gabe Landeskog back on the ice for the first time since 2022 to give the Avs the lead in Game 3 at home. But they're unable to finish the job. Dallas has tied it in Game 2 and 3, forced an overtime, and came back and won to take a 2-1 series lead. Now, the biggest issue in terms of why this is happening is the Colorado Avalanche and their power play. In the Game 3 at home in Ball Arena, where the series was 1-1 heading into the game, the Avs had 6 power play chances. That is 6 times where they had a man advantage and a chance to go up against the Dallas Stars, in which they did not capitalize. Now, one of those power plays has an asterisk on it, and it's because it was a double minor at the end of the third period that sent them into overtime with over 2 minutes of a man advantage starting off the overtime. So 5 regular power plays, and then at the end of regulation, they get a double minor. Brock Nelson gets a stick to the face and goes out with blood everywhere. It gives them the 4-minute advantage, and they're unable to capitalize. Stars take over, and they win Game 3. That is the biggest problem for this Colorado Avalanche team right now. They are not producing, and they're not doing what they need to be doing on the power play. The power play has not looked swift. It has not looked smooth. I will give credit to Dallas. They are doing an amazing job on the PK. Dallas is a very physical team in the playoffs. They're scrappy. They're all over the ice. They're very strong on the forecheck. They move very swiftly around the ice in the offensive zone for Colorado during the power play, which makes it very hard to generate offense, especially when you're up a man. And of course, you have to give credit to Jake Ottinger, the Otter. He is remarkable between the pipes, has been so good for Dallas, has had some clutch saves in which the Avs were absolutely robbed in a few of these amazing scenarios. But still, we are talking about a power play one with legendary hockey players. Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar, Marty Necas, Jonathan Drouin, Valeri Nichushkin. That is an elite set of hockey talent that should be able to easily generate at least a few scoring chances on 6 separate power plays during a playoff hockey game against the Dallas Stars. That is the largest issue at hand for the Colorado Avalanche. And with a 7 o'clock puck drop tonight for Game 4 at home in Ball Arena, you've got to figure out a way to capitalize on the power play and find ways to score and get pucks on net. More pucks need to get shot on the net. You need to test the waters with Jake Ottinger a little bit more, and that is going to be the biggest piece of help that is going to benefit the Colorado Avalanche going into this 4th game. Now, another huge aspect that is playing a huge role in this Colorado Avalanche team, we got to give a quick hats off to the captain, my captain, Gabriel Landeskog. He defied all the odds. He proved everybody wrong. So many people in the hockey world were like, Gabe is never going to hit the ice again. Hang up the skates, buddy. You're done. He decided he was not done. He defied all the odds, and he returned in Game 3, played for the entire game. It was absolutely electric. For the starting lineups, they saved him for last. Ball Arena was on their feet, absolutely buzzing to welcome the captain back. Just an absolutely amazing scene. Now, not only is it a strong emotional aspect to have the captain back, but he produced during the game. I believe he had 4 to 5 minutes of ice time, which obviously isn't a lot, but Jared Bednar exclaimed during some press conferences that you have to ease yourself back in. You have to find different ways to get to NHL game speed again, because no matter how many times you practice and you continue to do exercises and rehab, you can't truly prepare yourself for an NHL playoff game besides just getting into the game and skating and laying down hits, and just that's how you prepare yourself for an NHL playoff game. But he laid down 6 hits. He was very physical, a very strong player, and he got back in there immediately and showed the Colorado Avalanche that he is a physical and a strong player that is going to hopefully be able to help this team produce. And not only are we congratulating him and giving him a huge hats off for all the hard work and his return to the Colorado Avalanche lineup, but he's been put back on the top power play unit. I believe he's being switched for Jonathan Drouin, which means that it is a MacKinnon, Makar, Landeskog, Marty Necas power play unit, and Val Nichushkin, I believe. That is just amazing. It's like in this tweet right here, it's 2022 all over again. That has me absolutely fired up and excited for hopefully some more power play production. And I think that this hopefully will play a role in fixing that problem that is the power play, in which the Avs have had a pitiful man advantage performance so far in this series. Dallas has had a ton of penalties throughout this series, which has put Colorado in a million different scoring chances, and they just have not been able to figure out any sort of a way to score. But putting the captain, who's made his return, back in that power play 1 position, it could mix some stuff up for a positive benefit for the Colorado Avalanche, and I'm excited to see what Gabe Landeskog can do on the power play 1, back with his legendary teammates Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar. Very exciting stuff. Hopefully, a Gabe Landeskog on that power play unit can help figure out some scoring opportunities for Colorado. We take a look at the Colorado Avalanche lines at practice ahead of tonight's game. These were the lines at practice yesterday. The top line was Lehkonen, MacKinnon, and Necas. The middle line was Landeskog, Brock Nelson, and Nichushkin. As you see there, Landeskog not only bumped up to power play 1, but he was bumped up to the second line on the left wing with Brock Nelson and Nichushkin in the middle and the right, respectively. And then you see Jonathan Drouin get knocked down to the third line there. Drouin, Coyle, and Kiviranta. Interesting little bottom of the lineup change there. In the first game when the Avs won 5-1 over the Stars, Charlie Coyle and Parker Kelly were a huge role in that win. They had a beautiful goal connection toward the end of the game. So to see Charlie Coyle work with a player like Jonathan Drouin, a little bit of an older veteran, as well as a young guy like Yoel Kiviranta, who's had a career high season, has broken out as an offensive player for the Colorado Avalanche this year. That's a strong decision by Jared Bednar, and I'll be curious to see how that works as far as offensive generation goes for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. And then, of course, Parker Kelly, Jack Drury, and Logan O'Connor. Logan O'Connor, hats off to him. He has been an amazing physical player in this series so far. He's hungry for this Colorado Avalanche team to win and just continue to try to generate as much offense as possible. He's playing arguably the hardest out of anyone in this lineup right now. So hopefully O'Connor can continue to be buzzing and generate some offense for Colorado ahead of tonight's Game 4 of this first round series. Another interesting aspect about why this Colorado Avalanche team is struggling is some of these bigger name players are not producing at the rate that they need to. One example is in games 1 and 3, Cale Makar had 14 shots attempt. Only one of them got to the net. Makar is an offensive defenseman, as we know. He led the league in points as a defenseman. He had 30 goals this year. He's the first defenseman to do that since 2008. We are still waiting for him to break out in this series. Hopefully that is tonight. But we know that Cale Makar is not only able to play elite defense alongside his defensive pairing, Devon Taves, but he is an extremely offensive player. And so we need him to find his rhythm and break out and start producing for the Colorado Avalanche. Another player that's doing well all over the ice and playing hard, but struggling a little bit as far as producing goes, is Marty Necas. He's had some really good looks. He's been really strong on the forecheck and the back check, but he has not been very prominent on the point sheet for the Colorado Avalanche so far in this series. So we're looking forward to the fact that some of these bigger name players, Makar, Necas, other players like Lehkonen, to name a few, are needing to maybe get a little bit hotter at this point in the series. And this is the time, because as we've said, the season is essentially on the line for Colorado tonight. If they go back to Dallas trailing 3-1, that is not only the same scenario as last year where they lost to Dallas in 6, that's nightmare scenario. You know how much American Airlines Center is just rocking during the playoffs for the Dallas Stars. And this is a deep-seated rival. We have a Mikko Rantanen mid-season trade that has sparked a ton of emotion. Matt Duchene is a very large conversation topic as far as rivalries go for the Colorado Avalanche. So it is important that we pull out a win here and we get this series back to tied. We have to hold on. Tonight is the night. A nice tweet here from an Avalanche X account. Adversity makes victory sweeter. The series is close, but like I said, a loss tonight would put Colorado in a deficit that is difficult to surmount. Special teams and guys like Cale Makar, as I said, need to start producing. We have to win. Gabe Landeskog back in the ice. Fans are going to be in the building, buzzing, ready for this Colorado Avalanche team to produce. We've got Landy back on the power play 1, and we've got a team that is hopefully hungry to get buzzing, get going, and tie this series up. We're hoping that they can fix the problem with the power play and knot this first round of the playoffs up at 2 apiece tonight in the game in Denver. Good luck to the Colorado Avalanche tonight. We'll see what they're able to do.